Well guys, I got a little video for you. As some of you probably know, I have the old TERCEL for sale. But of course, buying the 2008 Pontiac Wave means that you can't keep the old TERCEL, you have to get rid of it. Well, I had her at a price point that I felt was reasonable, considering it came with nearly new winter tires and a sub and amp and head unit, as well as 6x9s that were all pretty much new when they went into the car. That's only been about 2 years now. But due to lack of interest at the current price point, I've reduced the price all I can, including the above mentioned items. So now I'm going to pretty much strip those items out and list it at a lower price. So guys, let's move her around back so I can get at it by the garage, and then we'll get at her. Well, I guess you could call that a cold start. So yeah guys, pretty much what we're moving is of course the sub and box as well, and the Alpine amp along the corner. I'm going to take out the old 6x9s. Of course the boxes have seen better, being in the sun of course, but the 6x9s alone are still in good working condition. You know, the 6x9s alone, there's nothing wrong with them. The head unit, the CD player, I'm going to leave in it just because it's not really worth much. Other than that, pretty much let's get at her. By removing the power wire, you're basically cutting power to the amp and the sub as well, which then allows you to start your process on the teardown of the, of the amp. So basically what you're going to want to do here is locate your wires and everything like that, which are on this amp. They're right here. So pretty much you're going to want to be tearing or removing these from the amp itself. Locate the other end of the ground wire, which on this car it's run right to here. You're going to want to be removing that as well. And I think if I remember right, I got to take the amp off of the box in order to remove it out of the trunk. So basically you just follow the instructions, taking your flat screwdriver and removing the ground, removing the power supply remote wire, and removing the blue wire here, which is your battery. So pretty much what I would start doing is getting the box back to where you feel comfortable working on it, pretty much like that, and then taking your screwdriver, start removing your your leads, your connections with the battery and the little remote wire. Of course, for those of you that have never installed one of these, the little remote wire is the wire that runs directly into the back of the deck. Basically it tells the amp to turn on and do what it's supposed to do. And then up here you have your speaker output that runs to the sub itself. So of course, undo them as well. And then you have your, RCA or your pre-outs. Now these run from the back of the deck all the way back to the amp. So pretty much once everything's undone, you just unplug it all. And whatever method you use to fasten the amp to the box, you undo it as well. Now, like most installations, they're pretty tight fit, especially in these small cars. So therefore, they require some manhandling to get her out. So yeah, pretty much once everything's unhooked, she's ready to go, ready to move out. So yeah, guys, I'll get her pretty much de-installed here, laying on the ground, and then I'll check back in. So guys, I got the amp all out. She's sitting on top of the sub box. Got the sub box on out there, sitting on the ground. Pretty much left with a mess of wires here, which we'll deal with later here. Now, the speakers, it's kind of your choice if you want to leave them in or take them out. Basically, once you've got them all unhooked, there's nothing really stopping you from removing them from the car, especially if they're installed in boxes. If you've done your installation the way I have, you're left with the original speaker holes, which, yeah, you can put speakers back into if you wanna. If you don't, then, you don't really have to by far. But yeah, these are the 6x9s. If I remember right, they are like 200 watt Pioneer 6x9s. And yeah, again, they're only just a few years old as well. The next step would be the head unit up here, if you're wanting to remove the head unit. Pretty much you have this plastic trim ring here that you want to remove. And once the plastic trim ring is removed, you see these series of bolts here. There's two at the top and two at the bottom. You remove those bolts, pretty much exposing the deck itself. You pull that out, and you can take, if you want, you can take the whole thing out with you, or you can just undo a couple more that's on the side and then put it all back together, leaving a hole where the head unit used to be. Of course, in the back of there is the remote wire and the two pre-out wires that are still hooked up. But in this case, I'm going to leave the wires hooked up. There's a wiring kit for a vehicle that you no longer own is not a wiring kit that you're going to want to hang on to. Especially for something like this, it's not going to really fit into much else. Pretty much the next step, guys, would be de-installation of the Theorists satellite radio. Now, of course, this one here is just your simple install as well. When I installed her, I just stuck the suction cup up onto the glass, run the AC power to the cigarette lighter, and the antenna pretty much just runs from there out along the windshield and pretty much up to the antenna on the roof. So yeah, if you look down here, you'll see the remote wire and the power wire for this stereo. I'm probably not going to remove that. Like I said there, I'm just going to leave it in. I'm going to, it's no good for me for the next vehicle or anything like that. But what I'll probably do is give this a session with a couple of zip ties just to tidy up that wiring so it looks presentable. But yeah, guys, I'll get that done and I'll check in. Well, guys, got the sub and amp all de-installed from the trunk area. As you've seen there, power wire is now, basically useless. Now, what I like to do with my vehicles, that I take the amp out of is I like to run the wire back onto itself, you know, keeping it somewhere out of the way, so if I ever do want to put a sub amp back into it, then, you know, it can be done. But yeah, guys, just a little quick video on, I guess you could say, installing a sub amp in the car here. Basically, you know, the car is on its way out, and the less things it has on it, the better it'll be. But guys, that's pretty much it for this video. So as always, thank you for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.